Before I answer that question, I want to let you know that I personally have great admiration for the Korean people. The Korean people have been through enormous adversity over the centuries, but particularly last century with the Second World War and then all the activities after the war. Yeah. And the Koreans have come out of that very strong. It's a democracy that thrives. I've been there several times. I've done quite a lot of work advancing relationships between Korea and the United States, and I've always had great pleasure in that. So my admiration to the Korean people, and of course, the dentists of Korea. So you asked the question is, why is Henry Schein strong, if you will? And it relates to our values, because I believe that you can come up with the greatest strategies, but if you don't have values, you will not be successful. And you can have a very bad strategy, but you have the right values, you will correct that strategy and come up with a winning strategy. And values drive culture. The culture can change over time. So when I joined Henry Schein, my colleague, who's our vice chair, Jim Ryslowski, 45 years ago, we put in the first fax machine. So the culture is very different today to what it was 45 years ago. But the values are the same as they were when Henry and Esther opened the doors 90 years ago. So values are important. And values lead to the ability to drive change. Because if your customers trust you, your suppliers trust you, your team trusts you, your investors trust you, and you use all of that to advance society in general, if you live out those values, in the end you can go to all of those constituents and say, change is coming, and they will trust you. And the only way to make progress is to advance change. It's always been the case over the centuries, and we are in a very exciting time in dentistry today. Huge amount of change. And we believe at Henry Schein, we have many partners, have earned the right to go to the dentist and say, please follow us with these changes, because they're good for you. Because we've had our great values for so long, and it's the values that drive the change, the ability to have change. Well, Mrs. Young, quite frankly, Henry Schein reinvents ourselves every 3 years. But perhaps the first major change was that in our dental business was that we came up with a catalog which listed all the dental products. We published a price, and if a dentist wanted the product, we would have it available. And that price was a fair price, not the lowest, but a fair price for the value of service we provided. Because if you look at consumables, for example, we have practically everything a dentist may need, and if you order it, it's going to be at a fair price, but it's going to be available. So the first major change was to introduce that catalog in the 70s. And in the 80s, we automated the supply chain way ahead of others in healthcare supply. We had computers to drive the business, the supply chain, our pricing, product description. And then we had a supply chain system for us dealing with our suppliers and shipping the products. So if you received an order, we received an order today, it'll leave the warehouse today and be delivered tomorrow. So we conceived that idea 40 years ago. That was a huge change. And in the 90s, we went to the dentists in America and said, you need a computer to run your office. And that was quite revolutionary because computers were viewed as toys for kids at home to play games. And we said, get a computer to run your practice, and at the same time, get a computer to operate your electronic medical records. Remember, dentists had those cards. We went in with that. Then, the next major change was to take Henry Schein global throughout the world. So we could now learn about best dentistry from throughout the world and bring it to dentists locally. Think global, act local. That's been a key part of our success. And then we moved along and we entered into dental specialty, which we manufacture ourselves. Implants, orthodontics, endodontics. And then most recently, in the last 7-8 years, we focused on digital dentistry. In other words, the ability to replace an X-ray with a piece of software, the ability to scan a prosthetic, a tooth, and send it to a mill. In other words, develop a prosthetic from a scan to the mill the crown, the bridge chairside, send it to a lab where the lab can mill the crown, the bridge digitally, and relate to the customer digitally. So that was another major move. Of course, today it's quite standard in dentistry, but we were able to go to the dentists of the world and say, now's the time to digitalize your practice. That was a huge move for Henry Schein. It relates to one thought, remaining relevant. We need to be relevant to our customers. In other words, what's important to them is important to us. So that's very, very important. And so we spend a lot of time listening to our customers and then delivering what we believe our customers need, that relevancy. And then, of course, you need to figure a way to communicate your message, because it's not only important to be relevant, but it's important to communicate that message to our customers. So, firstly, we're on the ground in 32 countries, but we service dentists around the world. Any dentist anywhere can buy a product from us. Medical is primarily in the US and a little bit in Europe. What is common is the supply chain. We use the same software supply chain software to manage the relationship with our customers. When we have the same warehouses, distribution systems, everything required to service a customer is common. But we have separate sales organizations. We have separate organizations that determine what products we should carry between dental and medical. Our US medical today is about the same size as our US dental for distribution. But one difference, in dental, we also have the specialty businesses and the software businesses. We have a small specialty business in dental, in medical, but it's not big. We have a big specialty business in dental and in software. So, unfortunately, of the biggest markets in the world, the only one we're not in is Korea. And we do not go into a market generally on our own. We seek a partner. And we've never had an opportunity to have a partner in Korea yet. We will be there someday. We'd like to have a partner invite us, and then we will be strong partners. So we do sell product in Korea, our self-made products, endodontics, orthodontics, some implants, some other products. But on the distribution, we're not there yet. And we are seeking a partner in Korea, which is the biggest economy that we're not in yet. Well, what we would expect is for us to invest in our partner's business and grow the business together. Of course, we have products to bring, but we have huge know-how in the supply chain, in building relationships with customers, and we believe we can help any partner in Korea grow their business, as we've done in 32 countries around the world, with some of the, well, each country we generally partner with one or two, number one or number two, and it's paid off for those partners. Of course, we buy a lot of products from Korea today. Korea, I think, is still one of the leading manufacturers. So maybe 50 years ago, we started importing gutta-percha from Korea. But of course, today we have scanners and other products that we import from Korea. We sell some of the Korean implants in different parts of the world and other products in general. In fact, on the medical side, we have a very unique product from Korea, and that is it's a machine for orthopedic surgery. If an implant doesn't go well, this machine is the best machine in the world, we think, to take out the bad implant and put a new one in. And so enabling the orthopedist to put in a new one. It's a digital machine developed in Korea. We are the exclusive distributor for that product. On the imaging side too, there's, of course, Korea leads in implants as well. And we sell the Korean implants in a number of countries. I think in China, we're a big customer of Korean implants. And we're ready to work with any of the major implant or other companies in Korea. So I think we're one of the companies in the world that is focused on social responsibility as a business. In other words, doing well by doing good. There's a Harvard study on us, which we'd be happy to share with you. Doing well by doing good. It's based on the notion of Benjamin Franklin, one of the founders of America. The notion being enlightened self-interest. In other words, self-interest, business, but also enlightenment for society. And the notion is that you can, as a business, do very well if you align with the needs of society. So Henry and Esther had that idea 90 years ago. They didn't understand, there was no ESG. In fact, we've been very active with our foundation and with our Henry Schein philanthropy for decades. We never called it ESG. That's a new term. But we aligned Henry Schein's business, way of doing business, with the needs of society. So I suppose one could say we were one of the original companies in ESG, but we started way before the idea was even born under the concept of ESG. So that's the social part, including the environmental part. But we've also been quite active in the arena of diversity in dentistry. So 25 years ago, actually more than that, 27 years ago, we convened a meeting here at the airport in New York at a hotel and brought in dentists from all the different parts of the American dental community, the African American dentists, the Asian American dentists, the Latino American dentists. And the goal was to figure a way to allow people to be focused on, because America very much is focused on where you come from to some extent, to focus, keep your identity, but also work as a group of dentists to advance dentistry in general, and at the same time advance minority dentists in America. And we're very active in that area. We founded the Institute at the American Dental Association for Diversity in Dentistry. We have many programs at Henry Schein that reach out to diverse groups of dentists. We've been working with women in dentistry for 50 years now. So this social responsibility of doing well by doing good for society, helping people access oral care, the environment, good governance, These are all areas that we've been focused on Henry Schein for a long time. Well, I said this, the customer earlier on, I mentioned the customer is at the center of everything. Our job, by the way, most of our businesses in the free market world where dentists are earning a living and running a practice. I mean, there's some government dentistry, but most of our business is servicing the free market. In that context, practitioners own a business. So our job is to help the practitioners operate a more efficient business so that they can provide better clinical care. So they go hand in hand. The operational side, which has to be run like a business, and the clinical part, which should be whatever's best for the patient. And that's been our philosophy, help our customers operate a more efficient practice so that they can provide better clinical care. Our priority was the safety of our employees and the success of our customers. The biggest challenge for our customers was obtaining PPE, cleaning solutions and gloves. And we made sure we got it. And we got a product that was of high quality, and we got it. And we worked with governments around the world to make sure that we distributed those products in an equitable way. But we were very active in the pandemic period in March to about June of 2020, working with government agencies here and other countries to ensure that these masks were distributed properly in these PPE. So I think we act very responsibly during these kinds of times. There's a huge opportunity today in the world for dentists, because there's a recognition that there's a direct correlation between good oral care and good health care. So the dentists need to be active in talking to the medical practitioners, talking to the politicians, talking to companies, those that pay for health care, to explain that if you take care of your teeth, you will live longer. I would say that's the number one area dentists should focus on, advancing oral care. And my recommendation to the dentists is, of course, they run a very good practice, so they're going to be in their own practice, like a business, but making sure that the patients get the best quality care. But the dentists have to be active in their community, advocating for dentistry. If dentists don't do it, I don't know who will. Yeah, I think what's important on the industry side is that we all are focused on helping advance oral care. We need to all work to get the message out that oral care is important. And then on the industry side, we need to give our customers the tools they need to get the job done, which in the year 2022 and 23 should be heavily involving digital products for every kind of procedure. And that digital product needs to be interoperable, interconnected with the electronic medical record in the practice management system. Well, I think it will be in two areas. One is 3D printing, and the other is in AI, artificial intelligence. We launched a product this year at the Greater New York meeting that deals with artificial intelligence. We have a huge amount of data in our systems because we store all the x-rays, all the images. And now we're using AI to go through those images to look for people that are likely to have caries, people that need implants, people that need aligners, people that need endodontic treatment, and we're giving a list to our customers. Detecting issues digitally, in fact, everything digitally. Detecting, treating, and there will be concepts of dentists playing a more active role in detecting non-communicable diseases in patients over time, tests, etc. Technology. Getting the dentists in America and then later in other parts of the world to use a computer to run their practice. First for accounting, then for the electronic medical record, and now interoperable with devices, no question. dentistry is a great place to be in the year 2023 and beyond. Essentially, we know that so many people are ill because of dentistry. Non-communicable diseases are the biggest cause of healthcare failure, and dentistry is a key non-communicable disease, in addition to cardiac, cancer, pulmonary and diabetes, and mental health. Dentistry is one of those key non-communicable diseases that if we all work together, the world will be healthier, and dentists have that opportunity. Dentists in most countries in the world are trained to deliver that message to customers, to patients. We just need to get more patients into the dental office, and the world will be a better place. People will be healthier, live longer lives, and it will be good for dentistry and good for those that sell products. But without doing that, I would say that dentistry is a great place to be at the dawn of 2023.